For Jack and I's experiment, we took a racially diverse group of individuals from Smith Residential Hall. There was 4 African Americans, 1 Indian, and 3 white Americans, and we brought them down to the common room to meet. We told them about the experiment. Now they would be standing in a straight line and ask questions. The questions were, if your ancestors were forced to come to the United States in some part of history, step back. If you ever called mean names or slurs because of race, class, identity, step back. Your parents are doctors, lawyers, engineers, any sort of higher class society, step forward. If you were raised in a bad area demographically because of drugs, violence, step back. If you studied your culture in elementary school, step back. If you attended a private school or some sort of camp in your time, step forward. And the last one was, if your parents had anything to do with you coming to Denison, step forward. Now, we told these questions to our participants before to make sure that the questions were okay, and all the questions seemed to be okay with the participants, and we made sure that there was no bias in regards to how they answered the questions. If your ancestors were ever forced to come to the USA at some point throughout history, step back. If you ever called mean terms regarding to your race, class, ethnicity, gender, etc., step back. If your parents are doctors, lawyers, etc., of higher positions, step forward. If you grew up in a bad area of town regarding demographics, regarding violence, drug use, etc., step back. If you studied the culture of your ancestors in elementary school, step back. If you went to a private school or summer camp at some point in your life, step forward. If your parents helped you and you're deciding to come to Denison, step forward.
Hey, thanks for watching our video. As you can tell, at the end of the activity, the white male ended up in the front of the group, with the white female not far behind. The minorities in general were towards the back of the group. This activity was intended to uncover some of the underlying racism in our society today that we fail to acknowledge. A lot of times, individuals see racism only in individual acts instead of the larger societal functions that we talk about in our paper and in class. This activity specifically is meant to help students become more aware of their peers and the situations that they come from so that they can break down barriers and become more comfortable together.